This is my counterpart, Miss Cinnamon.
Cinnamon, y'all.
I'm just here, y'all.
No, she not. She, you know what? It's to be determined, but she's still sitting here foxy as hell.
Aw, thank you.
I'm going to give y'all this catchphrase real quick. You ready?
I'm ready.
So just imagine. Now, this for the people who listening. If you're not on the live, you listening. I'm dressed like a 70s woman detective, right? So just imagine I kick in that motherfucking door.
Yes.
On the motherfucking crook. What did they call them back then? Crook, criminal, whatever.
All that.
Kick in on their ass and they say, who is you? So I'll be like, they call me Cinnamon. Because I always bring something short and sweet.
Woo!
What? And that's the 9, y'all.
I'm about to return my live to you so they can see what you're working with. Look at her. Oh my God. Yes.
I'm coming to get you.
Yes.
I'm coming to get you. But yeah, y'all, this is some, a big part of our history that I read. Honestly, my mama loved movies like this, those Pam Grier movies and shit like that, but I never knew that it was like a name for that genre.
Yeah.
So go ahead and bust them up with the facts, girl. I know you got them.
Handy dandy notes right here. So it's crazy because can you hear me good?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I feel like I don't know. Maybe it's because it's girl. I'm on a new mic, y'all. So I'm kind of like
switching things.
Yeah, they got money up in here. Okay, so basically, what happened was the main character was an African prince, right? It's the 18th century type shit. He get turned into a fucking vampire, y'all. He in Transylvania. Like Count Dracula turned this nigga into a vampire. And go ahead.
No, I was finna go ahead coin your little catchphrase. Y'all know who Count Dracula is. As she would say, we not gonna go with Rocky today. So we still coming up with her, 70s name. As she would say, his ass was a male monster, y'all. Literally in this case. Literally.
Yes. Listen, what's crazy is the whole beef started because Count Dracula refused to help stop the slave trade shit. Now this fucking African prince get put in the fucking coffin. And what's crazy is when the movie like really picks up, this nigga is in fucking LA and it's busting. It's busting. As you can imagine, the history between Los Angeles, black people, police, all types of shit. So I really liked the juxtaposition of what they was trying to do with this movie, especially back in the 70s, because you gotta remember, like, the civil rights movement was just a blink earlier, you know. It is 1972, so we're still transitioning. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. When I watch them older movies, I'll be amazed when I see black and white people in the movies together like that.
Yeah, like you said, it's just like a blink because the 1960s was all about civil rights, and our people trying to shit. I mean, we still systematically
we are
and depressed too, but
all the S.
This is fresh. Like this is just 12 years maybe, depending on the events. And like you said, they in the movies together. They dating in interracial relationships. Yeah. It's like, as if it didn't fucking happen.
And then bear in mind, this came out in 1972. Martin Luther King wasn't even, he was assassinated in 68. So look how close in range in that time it was. So, okay. This is not funny, but it's funny. Movie kickoff. Two gay male interior decorators, they get this coffin and shit. They get the coffin and sent to a warehouse. What the fuck you doing if a black ass vampire just hop out that bitch?
Honestly, the way he popped out, y'all, so y'all know, like, only reason why I really know is because of the serums. But in most cases, vampires have like 2 faces. So they have the face like where they're walking around with people, and then they have a face when they getting ready to feed. This motherfucker hopped up out I was gonna say casket, coffin with that face. I would have been scared, but honestly, given the times, I don't think that I would immediately went to attack. You know, I probably been like, damn, you know, what the fuck, what you doing here? You know, this another black dude. And he obviously in front of his fucking time because his fro was different from old boy fro.
Yeah.
So that's what I would do. I'd be like, damn, what the fuck you doing here? You know?
Yeah.
What would you do?
I would probably do the same, especially if I see like it's a nigga. Like you was not expecting that. You know, I would probably try to be a bit more graceful and see what's going on before I just jump into anything. Because now you're op.
Now you fucked over.
Yeah. For y'all who are just tuning in, joining in, whatever, we're talking about Blacula. Have y'all ever seen it? It's spooky season. We trying to talk about black horror films, get some shit out there, you know.
Yeah.
And then hopefully when we get to talking about the old shit, we can produce more new shit and we can be in this genre doing shit too, where we're not dying in the first 5 minutes of the fucking movie.
Okay, we created that shit, directed that shit, starred, finished that, you know, y'all know the rest. But go ahead, down the plot, if y'all didn't see it.
Okay, yeah. So where we at?
Look, girl, look.
Yeah, okay, this is him just popping out.
Oh, this is, so, you know what's crazy? I'm gonna wait until we get to that part, so go ahead.
Okay, so, unfortunately, the people, or not unfortunately, the people ended up being Blacula first victims and shit like that. And then, like, he goes to, like, this funeral home. He peeping people mourning the death of this lady and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is where it kind of get a little bit sentimental because Blacula is, like, getting the vibe that the girl kind of, like, reminds him of his wife.
Yeah.
And
Cleopatra type shit.
Yeah. And he, like, in his head, you know, like, that's the reincarnation of her.
Oh, we got some.
What about the Eddie Murphy one? That's what's that? That's
Vampires in Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn.
That's way after.
Yeah.
This is the first black vampire.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, which I think, you know, we be the beginning and the ending of shit.
Yeah.
I don't think that Dracula was the first motherfucker, you know, but hey, they always gotta steal shit. Go ahead.
No, I like when you be, you know, adding your little tidbits and whatever. So, Blacula thinks that Tina is like the reincarnation of his deceased wife and whatever. So, you know, he kind of, this reminds me of, like, not to go off topic and talk about white people vampire shit, but like Twilight, when what's his name kind of like imprinted on Bella and Edward's daughter and shit. Like, he immediately, yeah, like how Jacob kind of like had that vibe and shit for her. You know what I'm saying? Even though that shit was weird, but whatever.
As fuck.
So he follows her and he scares her. He didn't try to, but I mean, who ain't gonna be scared if, if this nigga pop up? Yeah. And it's a lot. I feel like I'm losing myself right now.
What? So, just to kind of, you know, piggyback where we was at.
Yeah.
He following her, you know. But you know how those movies are. I ain't gonna lie, they did have a plot, but they had a lot of sidetrack shit. Mm-hmm. So you will end up at the motherfucking bar and you forgot what the fuck you. How the fuck we get here?
Yeah. That's what I'm just like.
How the fuck this happened? Because they, you know, Tina was scared and shit. Her sister ended up coming to the door. Mm-hmm. She thought it was him, and then the next scene they was out. They showing the black people club scenes back in the 70s or whatever. Here come Blacula with her purse, and it's like she wasn't just running from this nigga.
Right.
How? But hey, you know, it's a movie.
Let's talk about how he was hit by the cab when he was crossing that damn street.
Gee, she was treating this shit.
Girl going in on him. It's like once she realized, oh, this nigga ain't hurt, it all gloves off, just going in, and shit. Unfortunately, that was another victim right there. He like,
she caught his ass, boy, it was over with.
Mm-hmm.
What I kind of like is, like you said, I was shocked that it was not gonna lie, black people and white people in the same film together. But I like how they still kind of showed how white people were. Cause did you see that scene where those sex workers was outside and the officers was like, "You see those, you know?"
Yeah.
I think it still kind of showed how they can be, and they was getting fucked up throughout the movie.
Yes.
My favorite part. Fucking them up, but.
Okay, y'all. So y'all know, for y'all who are listening live, we also go live on our social media platforms, and a great point was made. This is by Michael. He says, and why is it that the only vampires that can walk in the sunlight was melanated?
Well, Blacula couldn't. But why were they melanated?
How come only the black ones were how come the vampires who did have melanin were able to be out there like that?
I think it could probably go yes, everybody can use sunscreen, but I think it could kind of go like that. You know? Like how they'll get fried to the motherfucking fried up, but I don't know, but that's a good point. I
think it goes back to, I've never been, and it's on my goal, but I think it goes back to Mother Africa, like where we from, and that continent as it is, probably like the weather and shit, how it is there. Like, I guess it's just like in us that we're a bit more stronger to a lot more shit. Yeah. Even though black people, we do need sunscreen and shit like that too. We can't evade fucking sunburn and shit like that, but we're not as we're not as affected as other people. But I always say it's power in our black skin, so maybe that's why they were able to walk in that sun, and they was getting that good ass vitamin D while they was doing it.
Okay, you already know anything we step up into, we dominate, so it make a lot of sense.
Okay, he coming with the facts. Okay. Blade and Queen of Darkness. Now, I've never heard of Queen of Darkness, so that's something that I can do some research on.
Oh, don't kill me, Daddy. That was my daddy, wasn't it? Don't kill me, but I don't know who Queen of Darkness is. But I know Blade.
Yeah.
Don't kill me.
Everybody know Wesley. Yes. I will hope that we know Blade.
It was some controversy around blaxploitation.
Yeah.
So we gonna get into how they said everybody else was feeling about it and shit like that. How do you feel about it? Like, do you think it was a bad thing? Do you think it was a good thing? What you think?
I love it. I'm all for representation. If we're not gonna do it, then how are we gonna be out there? I'd rather have that than watching that shit back in the day. Black people weren't in these actual movies. They were being played by fucking blackface. You know what I'm saying? So it was the whole blackface thing. Or if black people were in the movie, they were not characters of integrity. They were over what is the word? Who is that? That's Queen of Darkness?
Elvira. Yeah.
Oh, fuck her.
Oh.
Don't we all? Don't we all?
We talking about black shit right now. So what the stereotypes was just overdone if black people were in those types of movies. So I'm all for that. We need that representation. We need to be seen. You know what I'm saying? And we need to be in shit that's written for us, by us, so we could get this shit out the fucking proper way, and motherfuckers can stop doing shit of what they think to be true about us. So I love that shit. I'm not gonna lie, I might sound like a gatekeeper when I say this. Sometimes I be like, what the fuck? I don't think everybody should have access to our shit.
I just thought that would be best, for us to do, because motherfuckers get our shit. First they talk down on it, then they kind of remix it, but then they eventually do the shit. How the fuck you gonna talk about it and do the shit? So I'm all for gatekeeping, honestly.
Yeah. So Queen of the Damned, that's the movie that Aaliyah was in, but I can't recall. So Aaliyah was able to walk in the sunlight in that movie?
Yeah, they come with the facts.
Oh damn.
Come with the facts. I'm gonna tell you my favorite thing about all these movies is how fucking dramatic the action scenes are. Y'all, Blacula had the meanest fucking backhand
Mm-hmm.
in motherfucking backhand history. Like, how the fuck you backhand a motherfucker so hard they fall back and fall off basically a fucking cliff?
And the fucking makeup they were wearing. I was just like undone. But I have to remember that these were the time and they was getting that shit back then. You know, I love watching the older shit because I love the way they dressed back then too. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was nothing. Motherfuckers wanted to be dapper 24/7. Like,
motherfucker busting a fit just to go.
Yes.
Damn, okay. You know what? You fly. What he say?
This is.
Did you see the rags he
This
got?
is Ruger the Enforcer. Y'all drank.
Not yet.
Cheers.
Almost.
Getting there. Yeah, I love the style back then. Absolutely. Like,
the colors, not the furniture, but the colors,
yeah,
of the outfits and even they cars, like they was killing shit. So
I want to say something, and I hope that men do not get offended when I say this. But a lot of the men was like bad bitches back then to me, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, they was the best dressed to me too. They weren't afraid, chest out, bell bottoms. They had on platforms higher than the women, and they was just killing that shit. And then they still couldn't have been fucked with. You seen them backhands back then?
ass.
They were still as masculine as they come. They were still manly as men. It was just their attire. They was fucking feeling themselves, and I'm feeling them for them. So I love that.
I developed my love for male cleavage because the way they used to rock that cleavage back then, it was just like
Male cleavage, you said?
Yeah.
I like it too. Just hold the taco beat. I wasn't too fond of that.
I'm cool on taco meat, but I'm all for the glisten with your medallion. Or nowadays they be what they be wearing? They like Cuban link. I love the male cleavage.
How did you feel about the photographer Nancy?
I feel like that it was uncalled for change, well, death really, because ultimately he killing them. So
Yeah.
I feel like that was just, I hated how it was mostly black people just being this getting done to. You know, I feel like that was my only issue with it. I'm not gonna lie, because I get you was blue at what the lady was saying, but goddamn, this a black woman, you know, because he wasn't gonna kill the black man at first until the man at the beginning, until he started trying to swing at him.
Yeah.
So I feel like it was Nancy, right?
Yeah. That shit, like you said, it kind of like fucked with me a little bit. I try to be mindful that this nigga was trapped for centuries and centuries and shit. But considering where you came from, he came straight from Nigeria. You came from a place where you're surrounded by people who look just like you, and you in LA and shit, and then it's just like your victims, majority of them just look straight up like you. I don't know if it was just like culture differences and then just with the times and shit, but I'm just like,
it was like kind of a slap in the face a little bit, because you sat down initially to stop the slave trade. You sought out to stop the oppression of your own people, and now you ultimately oppressed a lot of them before you burned your eyeballs out your socket.
He said Blacula had that I can't, and I am just.
He had, who said it?
Your daddy, your pappy.
Girl. He did.
Girl, yeah, he did.
Yeah. Yes, he did. No, I can play. But he was backhanding us. It was this. If he wasn't doing this, he was doing this. And like, you gotta be a strong mud to backhand the hell out of somebody from here. So, but I just feel like it was fucked up that, you know, he was making black people victim. Nancy, all she was trying to do was get pictures for motherfucking, can't remember, no. What was her name? Tina. Can't remember Tina's sister's name, but it was her birthday.
What was Tina's sister's name?
What was that?
Oh, Michelle.
Michelle.
Was
It
the
was her
sister's name.
birthday. All she was trying to do was take the pictures, get them developed. I know that ain't his backhand.
I was like, is that the smacking sound? Because he played it one too many times. What kind of fucked me up is that, like, he destroyed the picture of him and Tina together. Like, I didn't really get that. I don't know. Maybe he, being a vampire and shit, you're not supposed to be photographed and whatever. But I'm surprised being a vampire that your image is even showing.
It wasn't at first.
That's what. Okay.
I think he just didn't want them to see her like doing this. And it's like, if you stare at it long enough, you will think and realize who the fuck was there and why she would be doing that. So.
But you would have fallen in love with him?
He probably had that whip appeal. You know, he's probably talking that shit. Girl, I want to play your game type shit. And, I mean, I can't say what would have wouldn't have happened. You never know what he was saying to Tina. Shit. I don't know. What about you?
Blacula, he didn't have enough sauce for me, so I don't think that I would have.
He had that 1970s sauce that I say what I say and I mean what I say and that's it.
I get it, but he just wasn't. I don't know. He
wasn't giving.
He wasn't giving what the kitty needed to be gave, so that's steering my decision right there.
Maybe she felt some type of Luva, right?
Yeah, that's the wife.
Was her ancestor had to be. She was looking like her. Maybe she felt some type of something to him.
Could have been.
I'm good playing y'all, but I think this is something that y'all should go ahead and watch.
Yeah.
It is a loud movie. You can tell they probably just still finding their footing on how to isolate sound. But overall, it's a good movie. It's a good experience. You know, if you seen Shaft, if you seen Superfly, you know that.
Black Dynamite.
Yeah, that movie wasn't even really made in the 70s, was it?
It was based on it.
What
It was based on the
Ain't that
70s.
Michael, whatever his name.
Michael
J. White.
Michael J. White.
Yeah.
Yeah. He still amazes me that this nigga, like, that's the shit that he do. Like, he's actually like, that makes me wonder, was you into this shit and then you just started acting, or was you an actor and you just fell into doing like this martial arts?
No, he was doing martial arts
beforehand. Cause that's the nigga, that's Spawn right there.
He trained with Bruce Lee
He
too.
can flex me anytime.
Girl, that's what's her name husband. That's Tasha's husband.
Girl. I'm just saying. No, I'm complaining.
The last thing I would say about this, I just hate how the way Tina went out, like with the stake through her. That kind of hurt my little spirit right there.
You know, and it was because ultimately he was just trying to protect her, you know, protect basically Luba's image. I don't know if I would have liked being constantly compared to his wife, and I don't know if I would have just knew that he really was into me and not just into the essence of his wife.
Right.
But he was still looking out for her or whatever. She ended up getting shot by, of course, a white officer who was just shooting. So he really wanted to save her, so he bit her. But, you know, men, most of the time, don't think. So they end up stabbing her, you know.
Yeah.
In the heart. Like, girl, we gotta get you a name.
I know. I need a name. No need to stand up for the people.
Who know a badass 70s name? What about you?
Deja the Stallion. That's all I got.
Who?
Deja the Stallion. That's all I got.
That's 70s?
Yeah. 1982, actually.
I don't know nobody.
That's not 70s, nigga.
Right.
1982, actually.
I don't even know no Dejas back then.
I don't know. I guess I could be a little foxy or something, but Cinnamon just hit a little bit different. I did not think you was gonna come in here and talk about some damn Cinnamon.
I bought my other shade so it could look like a gun, you know.
Y'all got on like my little leather skirt. I got on my heel boots and shit. I feel like I need a name. I even put on some big ass hoops in my ear. Come on now.
Look, y'all. As far as I encourage you to look into blaxploitation, look into everything, you know, with our culture, because ultimately,
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was told coffee.
That's my daddy.
Yes. No cream, baby. No cream.
Not all black. Ooh.
Yes. And I'm the sugar, so that's all. That's all we need.
Look, y'all, we coming through with the come through, but look into it, y'all. Look into everything that has everything to do with our history. You know, apparently they were protesting, like the whole blaxploitation genre. So that's why they stopped it in 1976. Yeah.
I didn't realize it was that short-lived.
I didn't either. I thought at least made it to the 80s.
That fucking sucks, but I will commend them, because for it to be that short-lived, the output of it, I would have thought that it was going on for a long ass time. And the fact that it was protests like that lets us know that they were doing their shit and they were doing it right. Because why are you threatened by it? To me, that ain't doing shit but taking away more jobs from black people.
I think it was black people that was protesting as well, because it was putting black people in like a negative light.
It was. They felt like it was, like you said earlier, over